Thanks, Sam. Well, here's a look at your world tonight in international news. We begin in Tokyo, Japan, where government officials say that the nuclear crisis that has been gripping the country over the last few weeks is close to being resolved. The Fukushima power plant, one of the places hardest hit by the earthquake, is being tended to by emergency workers and firefighters who want to see the plant go into cold shutdown mode. Now, this is when the water used in the reactor's coolant systems has reached a level below 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Just last week, this process was interrupted by a deluge of contaminated water, followed by the discovery of trace amounts of plutonium in the soil, making a dangerous environment for workers. The Japanese government has been trying to reassure its people that the situation at the Fukushima Daiichi reactor is under control, but it seems that every time that they make such an announcement, a new problem surfaces or information provided is either incomplete or inaccurate. And coming out of Italy this week, a letter bomb that exploded in the city of Livorno, injuring one senior Italian army official on Wednesday, turned out to be the work of an anarchist organization. The Informal Anarchist Group, a group based in Italy, has claimed responsibility for the bomb. The IAG was also behind the 3 letter bombs that were mailed to embassies in Rome last December that seriously injured 2 people. Lieutenant Colonel Alessandro Albamonte of the Parachutists Brigade suffered severe injuries to his eyes and lost 8 fingers in the incident, which occurred on a military base while he was checking mail in his office. 2 other bombs were also discovered. The first exploded at a nuclear power industry in Olten, Switzerland, injuring 2 people. The second was defused at a Greek prison. The authorities who dealt with that bomb said that the postage on the letter was indeed from Florence, Italy. So far, there has been no word on the conditions of the people or any word from the Italian government regarding the attacks. American officials in Washington, D.C. announced on Wednesday that they have sent CIA agents into Libya as quote-unquote clandestine operatives. Although President Obama recently said that U.S. troops weren't a part of any ground operations in the Middle Eastern country, the CIA has said that the agents have been there for weeks as part of a shadow force organized to, quote, bleed Colonel Gaddafi's military. In addition, government officials confirmed that the United States has also been receiving assistance from MI6, Britain's secret intelligence service. Their role so far has been to direct airstrikes and to help collect information on Colonel Gaddafi's forces. Americans have said that their goal is not to just weaken the military in Libya, but also to make contact with the rebels so that they can determine who's exactly in charge on their side of the civil war. A CIA spokesman declined to give any comment. And finally tonight, our last stop is in Damascus, where Syrian President Bashar al-Assad gave a speech on Wednesday in which he claimed that the pro-democratic uprisings that have been taking place within the nation is the work of conspirators who aim to destroy the country. In his address, Assad acknowledged the fact that there were demands from the Syrian people that haven't been met, but that this was, quote, used as a cover to dupe the people to go into the streets by the protesters. This is the first time that President Assad has spoke publicly in 2 weeks. He's been out of the public arena during most of the unrest that has taken hold in Syria. Protesters have been calling for an end to the emergency law that was put into effect and has been there since 1963, and government reform, among other things. President Assad said in his speech that he understood the concerns of the people, but that he would only allow for change only where it fit in on his timetable. Well, that's all tonight for your international news. I'm going to throw it over to Sean Toomey with politics. Sean?